Welcome in. We're getting started on the second half of the season. We're catching up with Tipton wrestling coach Matt Needham on our second half of the season, pretty much, coach. Welcome in. It's been a while.
Thank you.
First of all, let's start off real quick. We haven't really talked much about how you approach Christmas. Christmas is the last best extended period of practice time potentially that you guys can have. This year it seemed like Mother Nature had a plan right at the beginning. I don't know if that affected anything or not. How do you approach the Christmas holiday break? What sort of conditioning do you guys try to do? What sort of things do you do to try to keep the guys sharp?
Well, there's two things that I like to do over Christmas break, and the first one is take some time off. Wrestling is such a demanding sport, physically as well as mentally, and first thing we did over break was take about 5 days off. Actually, I think the snowstorm added an extra day to that, so we had 5 or 6 days off where the kids didn't have any obligation to wrestling, spent time with family, rest up. We had some injuries, nagging types of injuries that a few days off helps to heal some of those things, and then mentally just kind of recharge the battery. And I know for the kids and for the coaches as well, those days are pretty important to recharge and get refocused for the second half of the season. And the second thing that we do over break is we work our tails off. After a few days off of resting up and recharging, and when Christmas is over, we get back in the room, and I approach it as a mini training camp. I think we had 6 or 7 workouts over Christmas break. The kids don't have to worry about schoolwork and homework, and they might be able to sleep in an extra hour or 2 in the morning. So they're rested, refocused, and quite honestly, it's one of the best times of the year to really make improvements. And over the last couple of seasons, I've seen that with our guys. It's a chance to just really focus on improving your wrestling skills, and we work on conditioning obviously too. Like I said, because
you get that turkey fat off.
right. But that, and like I said, they don't have a lot of other things going on. They're able just to focus on working hard and resting and repeat. So
I know that kind of your mark here in the second half of the season comes really quick. That January flies by, but we seem as individuals and team to kind of turn it up. I mean, evidence is our schedule ramps up in frequency of competition too, but to me it seems like we come out, whether it's time off or whatnot, you guys have it ready to go.
Well, I think we've done a good job. I don't know if it's coaches or just our kids, or a combination, probably a combination of both. But we have done a pretty good job the last few years of coming out of Christmas break and refocused and ready for that second half of the season. So,
first competition back from break was that Central Elkader tournament, ran by former Tiger Jared Borman. The Borman family, pretty prominent here with wrestling.
Right.
It's good to see a former student, former wrestler carry on and have his own program, sort of say. What stuck out from that tournament?
Well, first of all, it's a tournament against, I think there's 8 teams there counting us, and 6 of them are teams that we don't see at all during the year. So I like that tournament. It's a little bit of a drive to get there. We actually go up the night before. That's something I think that the kids enjoy a little bit too. Spend some time with the team, and I think that's good for team morale and bonding, and just to spend some time together off the mat. Even though the reason we take it is for a tournament, but we see some teams up there that we don't see the rest of the season. It's a little different format than most tournaments that we go to, 8-man bracket type tournaments. There's kind of a round-robin format, so the guys all pretty much get 5 matches during the course of the day, and we had a really good showing. So we had 3 champs at Elkader. Eric Lenz, Jordan Chalice, and Tanner Cook all placed first up there. We had 2 second places in Alex Dorjahan and Andrew Stanbro. So we had a real solid showing as a team. We placed 3rd overall, 1 point out of 2nd place. So out of 8 teams, felt real good about that coming back from break and just the way the kids wrestled and we put that together as a team. So
you guys had a lot of people get a lot of matches too.
And that's a big part of that tournament too, is everybody gets 5 matches, or pretty much everybody, and it's a good way to come back, get the second half of the season rolling. So
from there, we started kind of a grueling, I don't know if you want to call it grueling, but we had 3 dual meets last week, 9 total duels that started Tuesday night. We went down and got a couple dual wins, down 53-18 over English Valley, 58-15 over Lone Tree, which Lone Tree is usually pretty salty. And then Washington got us 51-30. And talking with you last week a little bit, Washington's one of those teams class up. They're just a tough team. They can fill everything out. We had our hands full.
I don't feel bad about how we wrestled that night. Like I said, like you said, we won 2 duels. We won the matches that we should have won. Washington's just a little bit of a different animal than English Valley and Lone Tree. Like you said, they're a little bigger school. They've got a lot of kids out. The thing I like about wrestling Washington is most of our JV guys get 1 or 2 matches that night too. So overall, we competed well. It was a good way to start last week, and like you mentioned, it is a little bit grueling to have. We wrestled Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday again right away. So 9 dual meets there in 4 days, and so that's a good stretch.
But tests your mental capability too. I mean, you guys are coming off and working on that Christmas. You have Central Elkader. I mean, if you include Central Elkader, I mean that's a tournament, 3 duels in the span of 6 days. So. Pretty happy with how things came out here. Now, we've seen English Valley before, if I remember right. Or am I thinking of Iowa Valley playing?
Iowa Valley, we wrestled before.
Okay. One thing with this, on our dual wins, whether it's forfeit or a match we won, a contested match, big stretches of points. 2, 3, 4 or 5 matches in a row. That's got to help too, getting runs.
It's one thing we haven't been able to do the last few years, just with the numbers that we've had, kind of where they fit into the lineup at, and we talked about that a lot early in the season, just being able to put guys out at almost every weight is sure an advantage. So,
well, let's step aside real quick. We will catch up on those other 2 dual meets. Look ahead, we have a big duel here tomorrow night. Depending on when you're watching this, it's Thursday. Today's Wednesday, so we'll be back right after this.